This is the Tigers POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Detroit Tigers. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Now it's officially panic time. The Tigers lose again to the Pittsburgh Pirates. Final score in this one, 8-5. Sloppy play from the Detroit Tigers. Mental mistakes, physical mistakes. You might chalk this up as the worst game of the entire season. Welcome into a live Locked On Tigers postcast. I am your host, Jake Rietma. You can follow me on Twitter at Jake_Rietma. Make it 8 of 9. The Tigers have lost. The funk continues. And where did this game come from? You got Spencer Torkelson making an egregious mistake, allowing runs to score. Wenzel Perez sliding past home plate, just things you can't even make up. We'll have our biggest talking point, our turning point, and of course, our player of the game. And another clue, it's not a player wearing a Detroit Tigers uniform. So buckle up, dial it in. I know you're frustrated. I'm frustrated. Sound off in the comments. Let me hear it. And somebody talk some sense into me and these Detroit Tigers. How will they respond? We're at the 102 game mark, so officially 60 games left. As always, thanks for making the Locked On Tigers postcast your destination post-game. Free and available wherever you get your podcasts, and of course on YouTube. It's all part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team each and every day. Do us a favor, like and subscribe. Maybe if we get 100 more subscribers, the Tigers can figure out to win a baseball game. How about that? But we begin where we always do, our biggest talking point, our turning point, and how you sum this one up.
This is what you'll be talking about.
This is going to sound like picking on Spencer Torkelson, and unfortunately, he's just the target. It's like, you and your siblings, everybody's making your parents mad, and one sibling does something, and they freak out on you, and that person bears the brunt of it because of the situation. And the situation is the Tigers are playing terrible baseball. They're not hitting. They're in a funk. They're losing to bad baseball teams. I mean, I guess you could chalk up the Texas Rangers losing 2 of 3. I mean, that's a team that's 500. But the Pittsburgh Pirates are an egregiously bad baseball team, and you've already lost the series to them, and it's a low point in the season. So when Spencer Torkelson fails to retrieve the loose ball, if you will, to use a basketball term, on an errant throw that trickles past him, allowing Oneil Cruz to score from second because his head wasn't in the game. He wasn't focused. He had a lack of attention to detail, and you hand the Pittsburgh Pirates a run in a game that you're already playing from behind. And that drives me bonkers. And again, this is picking on Spencer Torkelson. I understand that, but it's the result. He's going to bear the brunt of it because of the situation. And I know more things went wrong in this game, but if I had to tell somebody what was the most irritating part of this game is the Tigers dropped their 8th of their last 9, I would say Spencer Torkelson's complete ineptitude at first base and allowing and handing the Pittsburgh Pirates a run because he didn't have his head in the game. Now, I hopped on a little bit later because I wanted to hear what A.J. Hinch had to say post-game, and he addressed it. He said he felt Spencer Torkelson just fell asleep. He didn't know or didn't realize that Oneil Cruz could score on that play and just completely took the second part of the play off, and he felt terrible about it. He apologized to A.J. Hinch, but sorry, it doesn't take the run off the board. And the Wenzel Perez one, also just kind of a bizarre play, and where he's tagging up from third base and at the plate slides home. He beats the throw with a head first slide, but fails to touch home plate and make contact with home plate. So it's just, when it rains, it pours. I understand that, but my goodness, really, you look back on this season, Tuesday, July 22nd, it's about as frustrated as I felt as a Tigers fan. And maybe somebody can talk me off the ledge in the comments. I'm going to get to them in just a second. But man, Casey Mize surrenders a career high. And this is a Pittsburgh Pirates team. My goodness, 40-61. We talked about it last night. Last place in the National League Central. It's a bad baseball team, and Casey Mize just gets batted around, surrenders a career high 10 hits in 4 innings, 4 earned runs. The 1 earned run make it 5 total runs. He did strike out 5, but man, it's just a night where you just, like I said last night, you lose to Paul Skeens in game one. Okay, you got to have the next two. You just got to have them. And the Tigers didn't get it done tonight. But appreciate everybody tuning in, even if it is a frustrating scream into the microphone kind of Locked On Tigers postcast. But that's what this has turned into. Now, the other part I wanted to get to before I get to the comments, Riley Greene, 3 more strikeouts tonight. He strikes out to end the game with as the tying run at the plate, and it's appropriate of what we're seeing from Riley Greene. He's just not in a good headspace at the plate. He doesn't look like himself, or maybe this is the Riley Greene. I don't know. I guess we're seeing more and more of the sample size of a guy that just goes up there lost and swings at anything and tries to hit a home run on every pitch and strikes out. I called him Adam Dunn last night, and I don't even know if he's that right now because he's striking out so much and there's zero productivity. So listen, AJ Hinch is frustrated. You can hear it in his voice in the post-game presser. I'm frustrated. We're all frustrated because all of a sudden this magical season has just hit a screeching halt. And, you can go out and win the AL Central, sure. And even though that lead could be down to 8, depending on what happens with Cleveland tonight. But at the end of the day, okay, you win the AL Central, you're going to go face the Toronto Blue Jays or, a team that I know that's getting way ahead of myself, but this Tigers team is just, there's so many holes. And the last 9 games have revealed exactly that. And it's sad, it's frustrating, and you're just kind of on pins and needles waiting for the move to be made and players and reinforcements to be added to this Tigers team. All right, lots of comments to get in. And I'm going to do my best here again. You guys know the drill, no producer or anything like that. So here we go. Please keep your comments respectful, and I will run through them. The dude says the team meeting time. It's team meeting time. We just dropped a series and got carved up by the 29th ranked lineup in baseball. Am I being punked? That's how I feel. Demetrius McNeil is up next. Said Jake, I said last night that the Tigers need to start playing better baseball. Not the case with 3 errors. Ryan Dempster is right. Add before the trade deadline. The road trip is ugly, if you ask me. Indeed, it is. Corey says these guys are gassed. Well, why are they more gassed than the Pirates or the Rangers? It's right after the All-Star break. And I don't mean to go at you, and I understand. I appreciate the comment, but you shouldn't be gassed the second series after taking a week off for the All-Star break. JP says the wheels are off the wagon. This team is awful, but Jahmai Jones hit a dinger, so they have their right-handed power bat, JK. Yeah, Jahmai Jones and Jake Rogers. There you go. I mean, those are the guys we're counting on for production at this point. But, yeah, do got to give props to Jake Rogers. I mean, Jahmai Jones and Jake Rogers trying to get the Tigers back in the game. Now, who's up next? Mitch Lutsky says the Tigers are playing like pre-Dan Campbell Detroit Lions, beating themselves. That's a good comparison. Joey D122 says, as a Pirate fan living in Detroit, you guys shouldn't worry. Even really good teams go through funks, and you guys are a really good team. Well, thanks, Joey D. I feel better already. No, I know. I appreciate that. It's hard not to feel like the sky's falling when a team is playing this poorly or this low below what they're capable of and what we've seen for the better half of 100 games before this funk. And even at the 100-game mark, okay, 60-40, obviously you would sign up for that. All right, JP says this Tigers team may have the best record in baseball, but they are not the best team. Trade deadline or bust. Mark says, why is Hernandez on this roster? I would agree. He gets shelled. Again, everybody gets shelled. That's just the way it is. Hernandez gives up the 3 earned runs and records 1 out. So there you go. Yeah, I don't know. I'm lost with that. I really don't know what to think on the way the bullpen is utilized when it comes to AJ Hinch and Chris Fetter and what they choose to do, because it's beyond my level of understanding. And I don't know if there is a right answer, to be honest. Javi Baez Prod said Riley Greene, 2 out, 2 on, need a clutch hit. Guess what happened? Well, he struck out. Yes, we have talked about that. Mike says the clown car keeps on rolling. Bring on the Blue Jays. Or wait, no. Yeah, one more with the Pirates, and then it's the Blue Jays. Oh, man. Brett Sullivan says Tigers lose again, and Ozzy passes away. This day sucks. Indeed. Rest in peace to Ozzy. A little bit before my time, but I can appreciate the greatness that he was. Rich says Riley Greene needs to sit for the foreseeable future. I am not kidding. He is killing this team. I would agree. Sit him down. I suggested that. I was having a conversation with a buddy of mine, suggested sitting him down, and we disagreed on that. But, man, tonight it's just – and the night before that and the night before that and the night before that. The guy's lost at the plate. You got to give him a day off and let him get his head right. Mark with some optimism here. He says, I think we'll eventually be okay, but it's incredibly frustrating. Oh, man. All right. There's still more comments to get to. I'll try to get to one more here. R1 VJ4 looked like Torque was pissed about McKinstry's throw. That might be the case, but go after the ball. I mean, there's still a play to be had, to be made. And J Bones says he was laughing afterwards. And if that's the case, man, I mean, I'm going to trust AJ Hinch on this one. He said in the dugout he felt terrible and so on and so forth. So, I mean, maybe we'll see. But, man, frustrating day, frustrating night. The Tigers lose their 8th of their last 9 and have lost the series to the lowly Pittsburgh Pirates. We'll keep the lights on. And then, of course, we will have our turning point and our player of the game. Don't go anywhere. The live Locked On Tigers postcast continues in just a minute. Hey, this episode of the Locked On Tigers postcast is brought to you by FanDuel. Summer sports are in full swing, and whether you're all about baseball under the lights, golf on the green, or high-stakes soccer action, FanDuel is the best way to make every game even more exciting. You're already following the action. Why not make it a little bit more thrilling? With FanDuel, you can get in on the game while your friends are getting sunburned on the beach. What a line. I've been using FanDuel to track my favorite matchups, and the app keeps it fresh with new daily promotions and fun ways to bet. Oh, yeah. And if you're new to FanDuel, new customers can bet just $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if your first bet wins. So open the FanDuel app today or visit FanDuel.com to get started. FanDuel is America's #1 sports book. Frustrating night at PNC Park for the Detroit Tigers. I was so frustrated I didn't even run through some of the positives that did happen because, again, I'm just beside myself. So you got Jake Rogers hitting a 3-run homer, and then Jahmai Jones' 2-run homer accounts for the entirety of the Tigers' offense. Meanwhile, did anybody else feel like, I know they can't say anything bad about the Tigers because of who they work for and who signs their checks. So they're never going to be critical of the team, but Benetti and Dirks, and just it didn't feel like there's any type of watching the game with a critical eye and trying to hold these guys accountable. And I know that's not their role, but some of the goofy, gimmicky stuff, and I know you got J.K. Simmons on there. It goes over a lot better when you're winning. I'll say that. You got, the trying to do the food promo in the middle of the game. And it's just all that stuff is obviously better when you're winning, and they can't control all that. But I don't know. I'm not saying I'm sour on the broadcast, but it's just a lot tonight, and again, it's not their fault the Tigers are losing, but just food for thought there, I suppose. But again, I know they can't say anything because of who they work for. All right, how about your turning point?
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
I think you could say that this game was lost with the Pirates. I mean, the Tigers, even with the Pirates scoring as many runs as they did, I should say, and plating all of those runners and really getting to Casey Mize to the tune of 10 hits. And the Tigers even threw 3 guys out at home. I mean, it could have been even worse than Pittsburgh scoring 8 runs. And this is a bottom of the barrel offense. And so whether it's, the runs that are plated early in the second inning or the crooked number in the fourth, it's just a steady onslaught, 3 more in the sixth, where you can't catch up because this Pirates team all of a sudden is taxing your bullpen, and before that, just all over Casey Mize. So I don't know what the answer is. I do know that this Tigers team better figure it out, and sooner rather than later. Obviously, with the pending trade deadline, that's a part of the conversation. But wow, I mean, 60 games left. Hard to believe. 60 games left. And the Tigers are at 60-42. The lead in the Central continues to shrink. How about our player of the game?
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
Who do we want to give it to tonight? I mean, I guess Keller with his quality start, 6 innings, 3 earned runs. I mean, you had the stat that Benetti shared on the broadcast that was wild. First time, and gosh, I don't even remember what he said until when, but early 2000s that the Pirates had 3 players with 2 doubles. So you got a number of, look up and down this lineup. You got 3 hit games for a number of different guys all throughout the lineup. And they just continued. The Pirates offense just all decided to hit together. Brdar gets his 14th save of the season. And there you go, Keller. It's his 3rd win of the year. And Mitch Keller is now 3-10. So kind of an embarrassing night all the way around for the Tigers. And I'm sorry to be so negative, but this is where we're at. And I do appreciate the comment from Braylon Dennis, because I said earlier the Tigers lead is shrinking to Cleveland, but Cleveland won. So I appreciate that. I don't have the out-of-town scoreboard up in front of me. But, there you go. So now it's down to 8 games. Skip Gadberry says, this is who the Tigers are. Anyone saying this team is the best in generations are fools. R1VJ4 says, Tigers getting a reality check. There you go. All right. Hannah Banana, how about some comedic relief? Rob Snyder from the Water Boy. Oh, no, we suck again. That is what it feels like. But some positivity from Gary Myers. It's okay. We will learn from it. We will rebound. Let's hope that's the case. And the rebound starts with the Detroit Tigers and Pittsburgh Pirates tomorrow afternoon, trying to avoid the sweep. But I've got a couple of days off scheduled in the near future. For those that don't know, I do a fundraising charity golf outing that I host. It's a scholarship benefiting the scholarship at Northwood University in honor of my late parents. So that is this week. And I will be attending to that and away from the Locked On Tigers postcast for a couple of days. So I appreciate your understanding there. It's obviously for a good cause and a cause that's near and dear to my heart. So next couple of days, I will be out of commission, spending time with family and doing some fundraising for the scholarship in honor of my late parents at Northwood University. So there you go. Appreciate everybody tuning in. It'll be great to be in the great state of Michigan, but maybe it's coming at the right time because need a little break from the Detroit Tigers. Stay tuned for updates on the Locked On Tigers podcast. And of course, check in on the Daily Show with Scott Bentley, and he'll keep you up to date on everything relating to the Detroit Tigers. Hopefully it's better news than what we've had on the postcast with all of the losing as of late. So thanks as always for tuning in. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. We'll talk to you next time on Live Locked On Tigers postcast.